That controversy over the past 3 months stemming from a moment meant to be a celebration. Now, back in July, a group of La Crosse County Sheriff's deputies posed for a picture commending their efforts at Country Boom. In the photo, a sergeant was seen showing the OK symbol held downward. And while that sign held upward has become a symbol of white supremacy, the findings of an internal and external investigation indicate in this case it was part of what's known as the circle game. Sheriff Jeff Wolf shared the findings with a county board committee earlier this evening. As News 19's Colton Emsweiler reports, some board members find the sheriff's response lacking.
I leave today feeling like I wish the Sheriff's Department were a little bit more willing to make changes to make sure this would not happen again in the future.
That is what several members of the La Crosse County Board are saying after Sheriff Jeff Wolf gave a report on findings from a gesture made by a still employed deputy over the summer that went viral. The so-called OK symbol has been linked to white supremacy. The investigation by Dane County found no ill intent and that the sergeant is proactive with racial diversity efforts. And while Wolf says the department trained staff in the past on dealing with people of color before it became a requirement, some minorities reached out expressing concern. Members of the Judiciary and Law Committee say that communication should have been mirrored by the law enforcement official.
My disappointment is that the Sheriff's Department does not seem to think that there's a need to heal the community as a result of this incident. I was disappointed to hear that the sheriff doesn't think that there was community outrage over this. There was plenty of community outrage, and the fact that he has not reached out to those groups is disappointing.
Wolf will step down following his term in the coming months, meaning that there will be a new sheriff in town. County officials hoping that person can potentially change policies to prevent future incidents, something Wolf said is not necessary since such protocols are already in place.
I think a future sheriff can just make sure that their employees are well trained and make sure that they're familiar with the existing Anti-Defamation League symbols that exist. I do understand that maybe intent matters to an extent, but of course the impact outweighs the intent. And it's our responsibility to be educated on how our symbols will be construed by other people.
And during the meeting, Sheriff Wolf says that teaching his staff of all offensive symbols, gestures, words, numbers, etc. is impractical. Reporting from La Crosse, I'm Colton Emsweiler, WXOW News 19.
Now, the full report, consisting of hundreds of pages, is not being made public at this time, though Dylan Motter has already requested a copy, as is the board's right. And coming up on Sunday night, we're taking an in-depth look at the campaigns for sheriff candidates, John Siegel and Fritz Leinfelder. Stay with News 19 for that.